What's up everyone? Welcome back to our channel. I am so glad you guys are loving our video from yesterday. It's so nice to have a nice welcoming back after a little break of filming, but we got a lot of people commenting, which I'm so excited because, as I've told you in the past, comments just really motivate me and I love getting to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you so much for interacting with our video yesterday. Today is going to be so hectic because there's so many different things going on and I'm not quite in a flow of how to do things. So we had a bunch of toy orders last night. So I think I'm going to start off by fulfilling those because it's 8:30. I have some time before the mailman gets here, so I'd like to get those in the mail if I can. We also have a bunch of masks to make and bandanas to make. So Nicholas actually started cutting yesterday. So I have some bandanas in my pile. I think he's on his way now. There's no masks over here, but there is a big list. So hopefully he gets moving on that. The nice thing about the masks is that he can bulk cut, so he can cut like 8 masks at once. So that is pretty easy for him to get that out of the way, and right now we're only offering like I think 5 patterns. So, you know, he can bang them out pretty quick, but the bandanas definitely take him a long time, and I think there was like over 50 on his list yesterday. He didn't finish his list yesterday. Oh, the UPS person is here with the package. It was the new packaging, which is perfect timing. Obviously, I'm pretty good about ordering stuff. Let's open it up. Here it is. Because we are near almost out, I'll show you. We probably would have ran out today. That's my tiny stack that's left. So that, I'm just gonna start putting the orders together. I put my toys in here sometimes because it's easier to package up, and then this is all brand new full of toys, which I'm probably gonna have to open it up for today's packaging.
On repeat, I will break like a twig right under your feet. Don't you say that you didn't want me. You turned me upside down and then you into my bed and under my skin. Oh, where will it end if I let it begin? So
and that's all the toy orders I could package up, so I'm just gonna bring them up front for the mailman. You just do like this. This is always fun. Getting them out of here and onto you guys. And then here's our bucket. As you can see, I have 2 stacked because we've been needing 2 buckets, which is exciting. And really, just how cute is the packaging? I just love it. It is my favorite, and no one else has anything like it because our logo is the cutest in the entire world. Nicholas and I have also been talking about how we have to go through all of the fabrics and decide what we want to order more of because a lot of stuff's running low. So maybe we'll do that today. Hopefully he gets here soon. Hi, hi, hi. Say good morning, everyone. Hey, babe.
Hey, I'm on the phone with Jenny. Say hi to the vlog, Jenny. Hi, vlog.
We didn't see you yesterday.
I know. Missed you guys.
What are you thinking about our business and everything that's going on? How is everything going in your perspective?
Well, I feel like some stuff is way slower, but with the masks, it's, I guess, it's like evened out maybe. I feel like that's kind of what's happening. It's so hard because you don't know what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. So it's like every week, you know, okay, everything's okay, everything's okay. Like, this might be going down, but the masks are coming back up. But is that going to stay that way? If everything's really bad for even longer, is our business going to be affected, like, really bad in a month from now? You just can't, like, plan those things out. Just like no one would have told you in mid-February, probably, I guess, like, March is going to be terrible, like, my business is going to be completely shut down. Who knows? If we can't get fabric from people, we'd have to shut down eventually. So there's so many things that, I don't know, it's just really stressing us out in some ways.
One thing that I wanted to talk to them about was about hiring, because remember we filmed a whole video about hiring someone and then we never updated them on what happened. So we never ended up hiring anyone because right as we were trying to interview, everything with the coronavirus and like essential businesses having to be shut down, we didn't really know what was happening at that point, because when we were hiring it was before coronavirus. So like,
well, coronavirus is a thing, but it wasn't like the US wasn't shut down or anything yet, you know?
Yeah, so like as we were like really pegging down our top people, that's when it started becoming more and more of a thing. And my first instinct was, we have no idea if they're gonna let us stay in this space or not. And if they didn't, I would feel really bad if we hired someone and couldn't continue to keep them on, or didn't have work for them, or whatever it may be. I just felt like there was so much unknown that we decided that for right now it was on a pause. So once the lockdown and all of that is lifted, then we might
revisit hiring again.
Yeah, so for now we did not hire.
That's the hardest thing about this whole thing, is the unknown. I mean, unknown about like everybody, like our families, everybody's own personal health, unknown about like your financial situation, business, jobs, whatever. That's the hardest part about all this.
Unknown if there's gonna be eggs on the shelf and toilet paper.
You know, food.
Yeah.
Basic necessities.
It's so crazy.
Holly, are you dealing with unknowns? What's the unknowns in the dog world, Holly? Well, we don't know if we're going to be able to go on a walk outside. We're not sure if that's going to happen because it's quarantine. But we still get to dance. We do our dances.
How crazy is it that we're running out of some of our favorite fabrics and we're not able to get them back right now?
That is probably one of the most annoying parts of it. Like, for our business, I think this is probably the same way for most businesses that have like a few products that are very popular. Those products sell and keep selling, and you need to have, I guess, a lot of other inventory for people that might not want those few products, but the other ones sell a lot. So if you can't get that back in, then like you're losing one of your biggest sellers, and that's not good.
Yeah, but we'll have to find new ones.
The one really good thing about the bandanas is that you can customize the plain fabrics in a lot of different ways, put different cool sayings on it. So that is helpful and something that, you know, we can change things up, and we do have a good bit of the plain fabrics right now, but like Blush Cheetah, this one is like running low.
And that comes as a matching set, which people love. I know what we should talk about.
What?
Someone asked a question on the video yesterday, and they said, well, I guess I could pull up the question, but basically their question was, do we put all the money that we make back into the business?
More or less, yeah. Any extra money that we have at the end of every month, every year has gone back into the business.
What do you mean more or less? It for sure has.
Yeah.
We've never paid ourselves yet.
Yeah.
What kind of answer is that?
Well, I mean, we did pay ourselves some in the beginning.
Oh, but most...
Danielle has no idea because she doesn't do any of this stuff. So Danielle answering that question, it only knows
But most of the money goes back into it.
That's what I said, almost all of it.
Yeah. And they asked for things like moving and things that can be financed. Do we choose to do that, or how do we?
Yeah.
You want to be part of the conversation?
We have not financed anything in our business.
So we pay everything when we buy it. Like rent and stuff, I guess.
We put it on a credit card that is 100% paid off every month.
Yeah.
Which we've been very lucky to be able to do.
So we're pretty debt-free.
We're 100% debt-free.
100% debt-free. And our business makes money. Right?
Right.
You were looking...
I was looking at the dog over there wrestling Gracie.
But that's pretty good for 1 year of business to be debt-free and profit.
Especially with, I don't know, everyone probably says this about their business, but again, the unknown. You don't know when you start out, is it going to be successful? We're not really like a restaurant where you can project out and say, okay, well, the last restaurant that was here, or, you know, the average restaurant in this area that, you know, is an Italian restaurant makes this, whatever. How do you know how much you're going to make with dog bandanas? You don't.
But what we did as our tactic was start little. Like we didn't always have this giant shelf full of different options. Like we had few options.
Right, that's why we started in our basement with a $150 sewing machine, and on an old kitchen table that we had with like a $25,
low entry cost.
Exactly, very low entry cost, and we just built it up from there. That to me is the healthiest way to build a business. I understand that if you're starting, a restaurant, you have to, if it's not already built out, you have to spend the money to build it out, so you have to take out a loan unless you're just independently wealthy for something like that. But for an online business that you can start out of your home with a very low entry cost, I don't think it makes sense unless you can get really good terms and you really can project out relatively accurately where you're going to be taking out a loan. So one of the other questions we got was, how did we know when it was time to move out of the basement? That's a really good question because there is no real way to know when the right time is. It's different for everyone. What do you say?
And I would say that most people probably wait far past that point of moving because you're always like, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet? So until you're like over 100% ready to move, that's usually when you decide to move. Like we could have moved before we did.
We definitely could have moved before we actually did. And we, as with anything, kind of wanted to play it safe. One of the reasons that we don't take out loans, same reason that we didn't do this, is we wanted to make sure that we are 100%, like, I feel like in the worst case scenario, basically still able to pay our rent at the place that we were going to end up moving to. Whereas if we would have moved earlier and things didn't go well, we could have been in trouble.
Yeah, I feel like most businesses don't start in their basement and they start off in a place like this where they had to take a loan or something that allowed them to pay it before they ever made money. But in our case, we kind of did the opposite where we made way more money than we needed, so we were able to pay this without having to take that loan. So I would say we far exceeded our limit in the basement.
Yeah.
But if you're a one-man team or even a two-man team, you can probably work in your house for a long time, if not always. But we really wanted to hire on a team member or two or three eventually. So hiring people, there wasn't enough room in our basement for that. So that's why coming here.
Well, the two biggest drivers were, like you said, hiring people. That was twofold. It was one, Danielle particularly didn't want people, and I didn't really either, want your work and like employees coming to your house every single day. There's just a lot of, work-life balance is already hard when you work at home and work with your spouse. It can be even harder when your employees are coming to your house and all that type of stuff. So that is the first part of it. The second part of it, we really didn't have enough space. You could have made it work, I suppose, just like you can almost make anything work, I guess. But the space in our basement was not really even enough for just Danielle and I, much less another employee or two. So there was that, but like even the room that we're sitting in, we didn't have like a dedicated filming room at our house, and it's nice to be able to have that in the office. There's like a lot of little upgrades that once you can afford it and it makes sense, it's kind of like that next little investment you make when you're ready to do so.
And I think the defining moment of like with the economy and everything right now going down, the fact that we aren't like, dang, why did we move? Like that was such a bad decision. Like we aren't thinking that. Like we are still really happy we have this space. So that goes to show that we were ready to move too, because a lot of people are dealing with like, I can't pay the rent and I wish I didn't have a space right now. Like we aren't dealing with that, at least right now. So that really goes to show that like we were ready for this.
And so we moved with our online sales being enough if we never actually opened up a retail store in the front where we could survive. The plan was, and still is, obviously after the whole, COVID is gone, it will hopefully actually end up being this, but is to have the retail store open in the front, and that at a minimum pays our rent. But that's not happening right now, and because we had a plan going into it, and we've been, thank God, fortunate enough that our online sales are, continuing enough to pay the rent and pay all our bills. We're lucky that it's working out that way. But I think that isn't just by accident. Now, there are a lot of circumstances right now where it's completely out of everyone's control, but I think good planning in the beginning helps, and that goes into us not moving right when we wanted to. We wanted to move out of the basement very early on, but we waited a little longer than I think we had to, for sure.
Well, we thank you guys so much for asking these questions. We really like sharing our insight and our knowledge of what we do know and how we do things. So if you have any questions ever, you can always leave them in the comments. We read all of the comments and do our best to answer them either in a video or in writing back to the comment. Our next video is going to be someone asked what we do with scrap fabric and how to make the most.
I am the king of scrap fabric.
So we're definitely going to share what we know and how we deal with scraps and stuff. Hopefully we'll do that this week too.
Yes.
But definitely let us know if you have any other questions, and thank you so much for watching our videos and interacting with us.
Yeah, you guys are so motivating to us. Honestly, like, we love making these videos, but as you know, when you're busy and like life just gets in the way, sometimes it's easy to, you know, put stuff like this on the back burner. But you guys like giving us your support and being like, oh, we love when the video comes out, or when's another video coming out, that really motivates us to film and stuff.
Well, and what you guys see is like a 10 to 15 minute video, but it takes way longer than that to make it. So it definitely does take a lot of time for us to do, especially when we're already so busy, but we enjoy it and we enjoy interacting with you guys. So we want to keep doing this. So yeah, thank you guys so much. We love all of you, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.